Hi guys, welcome to Peter's Color Reading. Today we'll be reading the pig label or สีชมพู in Thai. This label is mainly about mythology or legends. Or in Thai, ตำนาน if I'm correct. And today we'll be reading Norse myths. So students, please go grab your pink piece of paper. Write down your name, today's date, and the book name. And the book name is ta-da! Norse mythology. Alright, let's get it started. Ymir and the gods. Ymir was colossal. When he took his first step, his leg reached all the way across the great gap into Muspelheim, the realm of fire. He screamed in pain as his toes began to melt and hurled himself back into Niflheim, realm of ice. But it was too late. Great globs of water dripped down from his feet and fell to the ground. There, they formed into a race of smaller giants. Giants of frost and giants of stone. As Ymir began to carve new toes for himself, a gush of fiery wind blew past, scorching yet more of the land of ice. Out of the thaw came another living creature, a huge cow named Adamla. Rivers of milk flowed from her udders, and Ymir drank from them. In turn, Adamla licked at the salty ice of Niflheim. And as she licked, a man-like shape began to appear. First his hair, then his head, and by the third day she had licked him free from the ice. She named him Buri. He was big and strong and beautiful. What kind of creature are you? Ymir asked, peering down at him. He poked Buri with the tip of his finger and shuddered. Buri's flesh was warm to the touch. You don't belong here, flesh thing, he roared. He kicked Buri, sending him flying into the great gap. But as Buri fell, a giantess reached out and grabbed him. You will be my mate, she said. Buri and the giantess had a son, Bor. In turn, Bor married and had 3 sons, Odin, Vili, and Vi. You are the first gods, declared Bor, and will be known as the Asir. One day you will rule this realm and all others. As time passed, Odin and his brothers grew to hate Ymir and his unruly, brutal gang of giants. Eventually, they attacked Ymir and killed him before throwing his body into the great gap. Icy blood gushed out of Ymir's wounds, drowning the race of giants. Only 2 escaped, in a wooden boat riding the rivers of blood. Odin, Vili, and Vi began to make the world from Ymir's realm. His bones and his teeth became mountains and rocks, and his body became earth. From Ymir's blood, they made inland lakes and a vast rocking sea, which they ringed around the world. The gods raised Ymir's skull and made the sky from it. They tossed his brains into the air and made every kind of cloud. Then the 3 gods took sparks of the fire from Muspelheim, and flung them high in the sky to be the sun, moon, and stars. Next, the gods began to divide up the land to the race of giants. Thriving once more, the gods gave the rocky ocean coast and named this realm Jotunheim. The vast inland earth was named Midgard or Middle-earth. The gods made trees from Ymir's hair and a huge wall from his eyebrows, which they circled around Midgard to protect it from the raging giants. One day, when walking by the sea, the gods found two trees, an ash, an elm, and an elm. From these trees, the gods created the first people. Odin breathed life into them. Vili gave them the power to think and feel, and V opened their eyes and mouths. They clothed them and gave them names. The ash became the first man, Ask, and the elm became the first woman, Embla. The gods gave the first people Midgard as their home, for them and their descendants. Midgard was green and warm. There was wind for sailing ships and to stir fire. The wind was created by a giant eagle. When he flapped his vast wings, the wind blew out in great gusts across the earth. In Jotunheim, a giant had a daughter called Night, who was dark-eyed and dark-haired. She also had a son, Day, who was radiant and fair. Odin took Night and Day and gave them each a chariot and 2 horses and set them in the sky to ride across the world. Night rode first, covering the world in darkness. Day rode behind her, his radiance lighting up the earth and sky. Down on Midgard, a man named Mundalfari had 2 children, whom he thought so beautiful he named them Sun and Moon. My children shine with such luminous brightness, he proclaimed. They are surely dazzling than the gods themselves, more dazzling than the gods themselves. How dare you, roared Odin. No human can rival the gods for beauty. As punishment, I will take your children away. Odin whisked them up into the sky and gave them each a chariot. One chariot held the sun, the other the moon. Snapping and growling at their heels were 2 fearsome wolves, who chased the chariots in a never-ending race across the skies. Alright guys, now that we have just got a little bit of reading about the pink label books, which are about mythologies or legends. If you guys are more interested about mythologies, go check out the pink label books. And do remember to write down your name, date, time, and the book name, which is Norse myths. And remember to put it into the box too. Alright, I shall see you next time.